everything. What's that?
That's why Danica jumped out so fast. Look at all the flames. Big fire there. All she could see was flames. She knew she needed to get out of that car as soon as she possibly could.
Jeff, I saw debris back there. I think Almirola ran over something that prevented him from turning that car down the racetrack.
He was just in a big slide.
She's had a frustrating season.
She has. I think when she sees what, I don't think Joey did anything wrong. I think he had a mechanical failure that caused this.
But boy, that was a scary ride that Danica went through. The way, I mean, you're at one of the highest speed parts of the racetrack. How it turns it to the right, sends it straight into the wall.
Now Aric Almirola is still in the car, catching his breath. He dropped the window net to signal he was okay. Removed his helmet, and he's taken a little time to compose himself here as the safety workers wait.
Mike has a big impact, buddy.
That was a hard impact. But I did see a debris field behind Danica's car, and I think it's reasonable to assume that he ran over something, wasn't able to cut that car down to the racetrack.
When you see, I agree, Mike. And when you see that car hit as hard as it did, and the back of the car comes up in the air, it's a huge link, a huge impact. Those cars are all three just destroyed.
That is a very somber look at what happens when things go wrong at 200 miles per hour. Safety workers assisting Aric Almirola, who we could see was conscious and talking to the workers inside the race car. The AMR medical crew, new this year to NASCAR, along with the Speedway rescue crew. Looks like they're going to do some surgery on the roof of that car to aid in him climbing out.
It was just an incredible snap when he hit those cars, and to see the car come off the ground like that, I can't tell you how much energy that takes to make those cars come up, get that car up in the air like that.
Especially when you see the rear end housing and the drive shaft, you have to remember, is connected to that, which connects up to the engine. When you see that violently moving like that,
that's huge.
You know, there's a possibility that could be making some kind of contact with, you know, where the seat's mounted and other areas inside the cockpit as well.
The roll cage, the 6 or 7 point harness system for Almirola, the helmet with its tether to the head and neck support, which helps with a frontal impact. And Aric continues to talk to the safety crew, so he is conscious, alert, participating with them, but because of deformation to the roll cage, they're going to take some action here to aid in his being able to get out of the car. Logano's car first slid slightly right and then violently turned to the left. And you will see that by the time Aric Almirola gets to this, his car is sliding out of control.
So if we go back and look, it's back here. Here he is, way back here.
And he's trying to get slowed down. He sees that. The car just goes into a slide. It's just sort of a controlled slide, but unfortunately sending him right in to the cars, you know, that are in this crash, so the 10, the 22. You see that rear end housing? How violent that was?
It's such a snap. I mean, you just, a frontal impact like that, and the driver is pushed forward immediately, it just snaps you.
And by the time he got near them, there was certainly enough debris on the racetrack that could have cut one of his tires and prevented him from cutting that car to the bottom.
I mean, in watching this, I just have to believe that rear end housing, maybe the drive shaft came disconnected and protruded or caused some kind of heavy damage severe impact inside that cockpit.
It could be, Jim, but I just think that sudden impact where your head on like that,
yeah.
it just puts your body in such a position it just snaps you.
The side headrests and the head and neck restraint are designed to work in a frontal crash, a straight-ahead frontal crash. And he did hit Logano at a substantial angle. So you see, he's got the net down before he's even come to a halt. So it appears Aric has been conscious throughout this entire time and speaking with and helping the rescuers.
And these safety workers, they are trained to do these kinds of things. And they don't want to take they take every precaution to get that driver out of the car without him having to put his body in any compromising position.
And in these types of situations, if there is an injury, this prevents any further injuries from happening.
They want to get a backboard down in there and secure everything. It's just like an injury on a football field or anything else. These guys know what they're doing. They work at this constantly. They've been trained in situations like this. I've seen them practice trying to get drivers out of cars.
So once again, Aric Almirola is awake and alert and talking with the rescue team on site as they work on cutting roll cage bars and perhaps removing the roof to be able to get him out of that car.
Most likely that's what they'll have to do to get down in there where you can get him out, where they can get him out without compromising anything. Remember, these seats, they are custom fit. They are molded to your body. And so it almost got to be a contortionist to get in and out of one of these things these days. And so that's where that's why they're taking these precautions that they are.
So they're getting ready to peel the windshield back.
So they just want a clear path, a way to get him out of the car. They're just trying to cut the car away to where they get a clear path and come up out of the car.
This is all happening at the exit of turn 2 at the outside wall where that car came to rest after a violent collision with Joey Logano and Danica Patrick, who had crashed together going into turn number 1.
Well, Mike, look where he ended up. The wreck's back here in the middle of 1 and 2, and Aric's car is over on the back straightaway.
Yeah, he rode the wall and scrubbed off speed for a good quarter of a mile after that initial impact.
Yeah, one thing you didn't see was the